There's a lot of hype around the genre, or well, maybe just the concept of an extraction shooter. A gameplay loop firmly given legs by ambitious projects like the infamous Escape from Tarkov. So, as with the battle royales before them, the extraction shooter is now firmly in the sights of anyone trying to make the next big game. One of those attempts here was The Cycle, and only a year after it launched, it's done, and I honestly can't say that I'm surprised. You know, there's a lot of speculation lately that gaming in general might be a bit stagnant. There's been a major influx of investment cash in the last 10 years, and when you need to start answering to big investors, well, you need to start making money. This becomes a race to the bottom because any new and fresh content that evolves organically is soon copy-pasted by just about everyone else under the sun. You saw this in the early days with the battle royale genre, with H1Z1 leading to PUBG and so on. Fast forward to now, and all we have left realistically standing at the top of the heap is Fortnite and Warzone. Both games are published by absolute juggernauts and try their damnedest to rip off every penny they can from their player bases. Enter the extraction shooter. It's not quite battle royale, it's not quite looter shooter. It's got a lot of PvE and the lurking danger of PvP. Often you're tasked with marker quests or just standard fetch quests. Often the loot you find can make you get ahead of other players overall, and generally the safety of the loot you find is locked to your ability to leave the map alive. Now, where I think the new players to the space like The Cycle are falling flat is that this gameplay loop isn't enough to stand on its own. People don't like Tarkov because it's an extraction shooter, they like it because it's Tarkov. In order for games to work in this genre, you need them to be compelling first. They need to be interesting and you have to care about their setting. And to be frank with The Cycle, beyond its cartoony Overwatch-esque aesthetic, there really wasn't anything here. Nothing about this game had personality. The same issue is present in Modern Warfare 2's DMZ mode. I just don't really seem to care about what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. I eventually just want to go back to Warzone because at least with a BR I can walk away saying, oh, I won, or I got 10th, or I died right away, or whatever. Game's over, let's try again. But with DMZ you kind of just hoarded some stuff and did the quest to unlock the gun, and then that was about it. Now, with The Cycle, it was like the very definition of a cookie cutter experience. Yeah, it handled the gameplay loop just fine. The shooting was fine, with the movement being a bit stiff, probably desperately in need of a leaning system as well. And the game ran flawlessly, at times looked absolutely gorgeous. But, like I said earlier, this gameplay loop isn't enough to stand on its own. You need a game to have some life to it. There needs to be some emotional damage. There was never that moment of like sheer elation, but also panic when you found a high value item, like finding a graphics card in Tarkov or something. There was no interesting lore here. The premise was just so basic and safe, just knocking off quests for different factions and collecting more stuff. It's obvious that the game had issues retaining players, and I feel like I'm not alone here. There was just nothing compelling to keep me playing. Do games like Tarkov continue to be more compelling essentially because they're edgier? Even if some of the stuff you're doing are borderline war crimes, I think so, yeah. There's a real brooding overtone to the setting that really just tickles your survival instincts. I mean, I've been playing online FPS games for like 20 years, but every firefight I find myself in while playing Tarkov becomes like a major cardiac event. So I think The Cycle failed in much the same fashion as the recent craze of NFT games did. You know, they wanted the NFTs in games before they even had a game to put them in. And the Cycle felt like they wanted an extraction shooter without actually having the idea for the game first. Thanks for watching.